Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I wanted to try something a little new, and that would be a news roundup. Thinking of doing it maybe once a month. At the end of the video, make sure to let me know down in comments if it's something you'd be interested in. Now we'll just discuss a few topics and well, actually, I'll talk about them, and then, you can give me your opinions or your thoughts about that down in the comments area. And respectful comments. We want this to be a good place where people can express what they're thinking or what they're feeling, and, no fighting, basically. So anyhow, obviously, the first one I'm going to talk about is Iran. And this whole business with Iran. Without getting too political, because I'd rather not, I'm kind of surprised at everything that's gone on. Our embassy was attacked, and so we retaliated, and then they wanted to retaliate. It's just a mess, if you ask me. But I find it odd that initially, or their leader had said that they will get their revenge when they want and how they want. But when they do it, they'll let us know, they'll take credit for it. Now that to me was so vague that it seemed like, watch your back kind of thing. But then later that day was when they shot off all those missiles. And that just didn't seem right at all to me. So I was thinking, well, maybe, because they didn't hurt any Americans or anything like that, maybe they just had to do something in order to save face, but not create a war, which is awesome with me. I don't want war. I don't think any of us really wants war. But I still I can't take them at face value. I mean, too much has gone on, too many things, and it's like, okay, well, was that really it, or should we be expecting more? I don't know. It's been a lot of hacking going on since then, too. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, places here in the United States. Vegas was one of them that was hit. A couple places down in Texas. I'll put some links down in the description box for you guys if you want to check it out. Also, before the missile strike, Department of Homeland Security put out an advisory, and that has to deal mainly with cyber attacks. And I feel that they're anticipating that they may go after like financial institutions like banks and stuff. So I'll definitely put a link to that in there too, so you can kind of stay informed on that. So the next thing I wanted to bring up is Australia and their wildfires. It just blows my mind how terrible it is down there. Just terrible. In the Facebook Homesteading Ways group, we have a few Aussies, and they have been keeping us up to date, all kinds of information and pictures and what's going on, and it's just heartbreaking. It's horrible to see. And when you think about, I think the last I heard was around 20 million acres burned. That is almost 7 times the size of Yellowstone Park. It blows my mind. But now we're finding that a whole bunch of these fires were started by humans. Like 80% of them. 80% of the fires that are going on were because of humans. I think 25 people are under arrest for deliberately starting fires. But then they have, I think it's over 50 other individuals they're talking to for starting fires, but they did it out of carelessness or just being negligent. Either way, the loss of homes and life and wildlife was mainly caused because of humans, not just the weather. I mean, come on. That makes it so much harder to take. I know there are a lot of organizations and groups out there trying to take care of animals and whatever wildlife they can get to, but I just say pray for rain, you know, a good amount of rain. I know Australia has been more than happy to get help from people around the world, different countries sending in their firefighters, and people have been donating millions of dollars, which I'm sure it is much needed. But yeah, it's just a shame what's going on in Australia. Just a shame. And the last thing I'd like to talk about, and this is just a brief thing because I don't know a lot yet, is all the earthquakes going on in Puerto Rico. You know, they're not super huge like 8.0s or something, but they're significant, especially for them, for that area. And, you know, the last I saw, there was 500,000 people still without power. And so many people were spending the night outside. They were literally dragging their beds outside for fear of being in their homes and more quakes coming in, having it collapse on them. I mean, that is so scary, so scary. I know through talking to people that some people are kind of prepared for a disaster, not necessarily an earthquake, but because of past disasters, you know, they have solar, they have wind turbines, they have gardens and water storage, and so smart for anybody anywhere, because none of us knows when something like that could hit us. But you probably want to keep them in your prayers too and hope no more earthquakes come. And if I can find links to that, I will put them down in the description box. But this is just such a new story, and I haven't been able to hear a whole lot about it as of yet. I can't talk a lot about it, but hopefully when you see this video, we'll all be a little bit more informed on it. And one other thing, this is just something fun I wanted to maybe not fun. I've been having a really bad sore throat for the last few days, and it is just raw. I'm not sick, so I think it's either postnasal drip or my acid reflux getting worse, or it just is so sore I can't even begin to tell you. So I have these things. Let's see. Can you see that? They look like peppermints, but they're not. When Paul and I were in Ireland the first time, I was really nauseous for some reason, and the tour bus had stopped at like a little convenience store or something. Not quite like the convenience stores here, because it was out in the middle of country. But you know, I didn't want to get out of the bus because I thought, you know, moving around would make my nausea worse. So he asked, "Do you want anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, if they have peppermints, bring me peppermints." So he brought me these things, and I went, "All right, great, thanks." So I popped one in my mouth. Instantly knew it was not peppermint. I'm like, "What is that? What is that flavor?" And I was kind of wishing it really was a peppermint, because it does help your stomach. But as I kept sucking on it, I realized, like, my tongue and my mouth was getting somewhat numb. They're clove candies. Now, and they don't taste as bad as you would think. I mean, sometimes when you think it's like you're eating straight clove, and no, you're not. I mean, you definitely can taste the clove in it, but these are awesome when you have a sore throat, because it helps numb your throat. And I have been using these ever since. The only problem is I can't find them at, regular stores, so I have to order them online. So if any of you know places that, like a regular store that sells them, let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll leave a link to where I get them from down in the description. Now, to me, they seem maybe a little pricey, especially when you figure shipping in there, but I don't eat them very often. I mean, I got 2 bags of them. And honestly, and I give some of them away too, and that still lasts me a couple of years, because I don't eat them like regular candy. Although you could, but I really only use these when I have a sore throat or just I'm not feeling good, because it's comforting. So anyhow, let me know what your thoughts are on these topics today. And yeah, please be respectful of each other. And I know people can get passionate about what they're talking about, and no name calling or anything like that. It doesn't make you or your cause look better or even good by putting somebody else down. So anyhow, thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate it. Thumbs up if you did like the video. It was nice talking to you. And you take care.